Welcome to the National Putting Tour. Welcome, putting fans from across the nation. We are here in beautiful Washington, Utah, the 2021 National Putting Tour Utah Open. We got a stacked field on one of the best synthetic putting courses in the nation. We are presented by MyoSoothe. Let's go down to our course commentators, Brock Gillespie and Drew Stramford. Hello and welcome to the National Putting Tour. My name is Brock Gillespie. We are here in beautiful St. George, Utah for the 2021 National Putting Tour Utah Open. We have the biggest field in National Putting Tour's history, and I'm excited to see some of the top putters in the nation battle it out. As always, I'm here with one of the brightest personalities in competitive putting, as well as one of the top amateur putters in the NPT, Drew Stramford. Drew, tell us a little bit about this Stasiulewicz Farms putting course.
This just might be the most spectacular putting course in the U.S. It's got hills, rocks, streams, jumps, tunnels, traps, and it's going to put all these putters to the test. It's pretty much got it all.
If the cream is going to rise to the top, then we've got to talk about none other than Jacob Stasiulewicz.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob was crowned the 2020 NPT points champion. He's leading the 2021 points race by quite a bit. He has yet to take a victory in 2021, but he's had numerous second place finishes. Look for him to put the gas pedal down and possibly take the victory today. Players to watch for: we got Dennis Scioto, Andy Mendoza, Jamie Ganser, Jeff Kirk, who was the amateur champion at the Laughlin event. This is a stacked field. It's on one of the toughest putting courses in the nation, and I can't wait to get down to the action. Drew, thanks once again.
Thank you, Brock.
Let's get to the action. Here are some overhead shots of the course. Here's the front nine. And here's a look at the back nine. Let's take a look at the course scorecard. This course plays to a par 43, it's 18 holes, and it's a mixture of par 2s and par 3s. Here are some NPT rules. The most important rule: after a player hits their first shot, they may not mark their ball. Here are some notable players that are playing in the event today. In the amateur division, it's none other than Drew Stramford. Drew has been playing very well of late. In the professional flight, the odds-on favorite is Jacob Stas. Jacob was the 2020 NPT champion, and he's looking for his first win of the year today. Here's the Stasiulewicz Farms putting course, the #1 synthetic putting course in the U.S. We will be donating a portion of the proceeds to a first responders charity. Coming up next, the players will start round 1. Welcome back to Stasiulewicz Farms. Let's get a preview of holes 1 and 2. We are brought to you by Top IMR. Here's hole 1. It's a par 2 with a little hump in the middle. And hole 2 is a tricky par 3 that breaks right to left. The Putting Tour would like to welcome the Los Angeles National Putting Tour champion, Brandon Fox. And we're going to start it off with the 2021 NPT LA Open champion, Brandon Fox. Brandon, one of the top competitive putters in the nation. Hits a good putt, and he'll leave that just a little bit short. Nice par for Brandon to start it off. Now let's go to Jeff Kirk. Jeff is a very accomplished competitive putter. Did very well in the major series of putting. Now he's in the amateur flight in the NPT, and he just won out in Laughlin not too long ago. Jeff will run that a little bit long. He'll have this for par. Well done, Jeff. The beginners are playing the course. We had over 100 beginner putters. And now we go out to Jamie Vegas, hole 1. This is for birdie. Jamie putts one-handed and with a wedge. And I invite anybody to beat this guy one-handed with a wedge. He's an absolute guru at it. He'll be a little bit long on that first putt, and he has this now for par. Very well done. And here's the best dressed man in the NPT, Andy Mendoza. Putting for par there. Nice putt, Andy. The beginners are still making their way through the course here. Let's go out to Andy Mendoza, hole number 2. This is a par 3, and he's played that perfectly. And Andy will clean that up for birdie. Now it looks like we have a little bit of a logjam here at the beginning. It's turned into a little bit of a frat party here. We might have to get the marshal out there to move these players along. And here's Brock Gillespie, hole 1 for par. He ran his first putt a little bit long. And he's not going to like that. Looked like he decelerated a little bit there. Tough start for Brock. And here's Jeff Kirk, hole number 2 for birdie. Very well done, Jeff. And here's Drew Stramfer. He also ran it long, and oh yeah, jam it in there, Drew. Nice putt for par. Here's hole number 2, Jacob Stas for birdie. And a great start there for Jacob. He is now at -1. We have a little bit of a logjam here on the jump hole. That's hole number 7. The beginners are doing their best to get their way through this tough Stookie Farms putting course. Here's Braden Elkins, a beginner on hole 1, and that's not looking very good. Here's Brock Gillespie, hole number 2. He's trying to get some strokes back here, and he runs that long. And here's hole number 5, Andy Mendoza for birdie. This looks good. Oh yes, right in the bottom of the cup. Let's see an instant replay on that one. Andy Mendoza, primetime ace on hole number 5. Let's go to hole 3. Hole 3 is a par 3 with a big hill in the middle. You got to creep it just over the crest of that hill. Let's go to Dennis Scioto, hole number 3. And that's a very common thing to do. It's very easy to run this putt long. And he'll have this comebacker for birdie. Yeah, unfortunately the concrete got in the way a little bit there, and he'll tap that in for his par. And the beginners are still making their way through the course. Most will only be playing 1 round. Let's go to hole number 11. This is Andrew Matthews. Common place to miss for players today. Here's Jeremy Smith, hole 1. Oh, this has a chance. Oh, just misses there. Nice putt. Let's go to hole number 7, the jump hole. This is Andy Mendoza. And that's a common play. Running it long is not a problem there for Andy. Here's Quinn Edens. That's the tall gentleman with the floppy hat. He's the odds-on favorite in the beginner division here, and he'll putt that in for his par. Let's go to Jonathan Williams on the horseshoe hole, hole number 13. Quite a bit long there for Jonathan. Let's go to hole number 5, Dennis Scioto, one of the top pros in the event today. And oh yes, Dennis starting to pour him in. Let's go to that instant replay. This is a primetime ace by Dennis Scioto. And let's go to the leaderboard. We got Dennis Scioto, Jacob Stas, Brandon Fox, and Andy Mendoza all tied at -1. Let's go to hole number 9. This is Jamie Vegas. Runs it a little bit long there. That's going to be a tough comebacker. Dennis Scioto on hole number 7. And he'll have a nice chance for birdie there. Now this breaks right to left, and a lot of the players are not seeing it. Let's see if he can orchestrate this. And yeah, very easy to miss that low side. He'll tap that in for his par, though. This guy's ready for the baseball game here. The beginners are having fun. And let's take a look at hole number 8. Really nice stream on the left, rocks in the middle of the hole. To make an ace here, you got to go on the far right-hand side. And this is Dennis Scioto, hole number 8. He's chosen that right-hand path. Let's see if this has enough. Yeah, this has got a chance here. Just leaves it short. But a nice tap-in par for Dennis. Very well done. Here's Wendy Acosta, hole number 1. Not a bad putt for Wendy there. She'll have a good chance at par. And let's take a closer look at hole number 7. This is the jump hole. It's a par 3. It's a very tough hole in that you have to bounce the ball into the front of the green. The front of the green is sloped, and the ball will check up once it hits the front of the green, and that will give you a good chance for birdie. Now here's Jacob Stas. He's hit the front of that green, but an unlucky bounce, and that rolls a little bit long. Let's see if he can make this for birdie. And yeah, he left it low side like many of the players today. He'll tap that in for par. Here's Drew Strand for hole number 7. And oh no, that's into the rocks for Drew. Very unfortunate. And this is our first primetime bummer putt of the day. Bad luck for Drew Stranford. Let's go to Jocelyn Barrymore, a beginner on hole 1, and that's very long. Watch out. Let's go to Brock Gillespie, hole 7, the jump hole. Oh, very well done. That'll leave him a nice birdie opportunity of about 4 feet. And he puts it in, and Brock's at 2 under. The beginners are still making their way through the course here, but it's starting to thin out a little bit. Let's go to a top 10 leaderboard, and Jacob Stas is leading the way at -3. Brandon Fox, Brock Gillespie, and Dennis Ciozzo are tied at -2. Andy Mendoza is at -1. Jeff Kirk is leading the amateur division at even par. We'll be back right after this with more round 1 action. We are brought to you by Pilates Wheel. And the beginners are still making their way through the course. They are allowed to play the course as many times as they want. Let's go to our top amateur, Drew Strand, for hole 9. Almost makes it there. Here's Brandon Fox, hole 12. This has got a chance. Oh, and just lips out. Let's go to Brock Gillespie, hole 9. This is for birdie. A very speedy putt, and he got it done perfectly. Let's see an instant replay of that. This is a primetime ace by Brock Gillespie. And Brandon Fox will clean up for birdie there. Let's go to Andy Mendoza, hole 14. That was for birdie. He ran it a little bit long. Here's Brock Gillespie, hole 10. He's on fire, folks. That'll get him to 4 under. Nice birdie for Brock. Let's see that one again. Hole number 10 in the heart. Here's Drew Strand for hole 12. And oh man, this rough has been killer for the players today. Now this is for par. He's got to take his time here. And oh no, this is turning into a disaster hole for Drew Stranford. This will be for bogey. Nice putt. Toilet bowl roll for Drew, but he's still not going to be happy with that. Let's go to hole 14. This is Brock Gillespie on the par 3, and he's judged this perfectly. Does it have enough speed? Little bit short, but he's going to tap that in for a nice, easy birdie. Let's go to hole 16. This is Andy Mendoza. Players can go to the right or left on this hole, and he's chosen the right-hand path and left it a little bit short. Great reaction here from Andy. Let's go to a close-up of hole number 17. This is the tunnel hole. You want to creep it over that first part as slow as possible. You want the ball to have as little speed as possible as it rolls towards the hole. And of course, you're hoping to make an ace here. Let's go to Brock Gillespie, hole 17. He likes the speed on this one. This has got a chance, almost. And he'll have this comebacker here for birdie. This breaks a little bit right to left. Nice putt for Brock there. And let's go to Jacob Stas, hole 17 for birdie. Ooh, and he just lips out. Let's take a closer look at hole number 18. We call this Zion. You can roll it through the arch and try to get a hole-in-one that way, or you can roll it on the right-hand side. If you have the perfect speed, it'll come out of that rough and roll right in the hole. Let's go to Brandon Fox, hole number 18. He's chosen that right-hand path, and this looks good. Oh, yes. Brandon Fox. Not super happy about his round, but a nice finish there. And let's take a look at this primetime ace from Brandon Fox. Nothing but the bottom of the cup. Let's go to Brock Gillespie, hole 18. And oh, that's a tough ending for him. He's at 5 under, and that's going to drop him to 4 under. Round 1 is complete, and let's take a look at this top 10 leaderboard. Jacob Stas is leading the way at -6. Brock Gillespie and Brandon Fox are tied at -4. Dennis Cioto is at -3, and congratulations to Quinn Edens for winning the beginner division. Let's go down to an interview with Brock Gillespie and Quinn Edens. We're here at the 2021 Utah Open, event number 18. Guys, we have Quinn Edens here, the winner of the beginner division. Field of about 100 putters, and Quinn took him down. Quinn, how'd you like the course?
It was great. I loved it. For mini golf, it wasn't what I expected. You know, it was a cool aspect of the game. I've looked at a couple other courses. They were just on a practice screen. But this one was very intricate, cool holes, had to, actually have some strategy and keeping it below the hole and, actually using some skill other than luck.
Quinn, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
3 under, fantastic.
More second round action to come from the National Putting Tour's Utah Open. We are presented by Eminent Golf. Let's take a closer look at hole number 12. This is the stump hole. Many ways to play this hole. If you're aggressive, you'll roll it right into the stump through that small hole. Here's Jamie Vegas, hole 12, and oh, what a putt. Jamie always putts aggressive. He didn't make a hole-in-one, but this is still a prime-time putt from Jamie Vegas. Let's go to hole 12. This is Andy Mendoza, and once again, that rough is hurting another player. This is Andy for par. A way to grind, Andy. Nice par there. Here's Brock Gillespie, hole 12, and he's chosen to go just to the right of the stump, and he's played this perfectly. That'll be a tap-in birdie. Here's Brandon Fox, hole 14. He bounces the ball off the stone, and an unfortunate bounce. He'll be putting out of that rough for birdie. Hits it a little hard, and yeah, unfortunately that's going to go long, but he will make that for par. Let's go to Jacob Stas, hole 13. This is the horseshoe hole. He's got this on a nice line. Right at the end, it creeps back right and just doesn't get it, but a nice putt for Jacob. He'll tap that in for par. Let's take a look at the 2021 year for Jacob Stas. Jacob finished second in the Phoenix event. He finished third at the Point Loma Club in San Diego, California. He finished tied for first but lost in a playoff in El Cajon. And he finished second place to Brandon Fox at the LA Open. He's been putting amazing, but he has not picked up a victory. However, he is leading right now. Let's go down to Jacob Stas, hole 14. He's at -7 for the tournament. And a nice play off that rock. He'll have a short putt out of the fringe here for birdie. Jacob is notorious for his meticulous pre-shot routine. It's one of the things that makes him such a great putter. And this will get him to 8 under. Looks good. Oh yes, nice putt for Jacob. Here's Jeff Kirk, hole 16. He's in a little bit of a predicament. And gosh, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he was trying to bounce it off the rocks, and he now has this for bogey. And oh, that's going to be a little short. A nightmare double bogey there for Jeff Kirk. Let's go to the leaderboard. Jacob Stas is leading the way at -8. Brock Gillespie's at -7. Brandon Fox at -6. And Dennis Cioto at -4. Here's Brandon Fox, hole 18, second round. Oh, is he going to do it again? And yes, he owns hole 18 today. That's his second birdie on the hole. And let's take a look at this instant replay. Another primetime ace on 18 for Brandon Fox. Let's go to hole 18. This is Jamie Vegas. Nice putt for Jamie, but runs it a little bit long. Let's take a closer look at hole number 16. This is one of the toughest par 2s on the course. You can choose to go right or left. Most players are going to the right-hand side of this hole. It's very easy to leave it long. Let's go to Drew Stramford. This is round number 2, hole 16. This is for birdie. He played it a little too straight there, but he'll have a nice putt for par here.
Definitely got some funky in between roll in the middle.
Oh, and he gives it the shooter, a little Happy Gilmore reference there. Nice putt for Drew. Here's Jacob Stas, hole 16 for birdie. Oh, and this looks good. Oh, a little kiss off the rough and in the hole. Nice putt for Jacob. Very well done. Let's take a look at this instant replay and a primetime ace from Jacob Stas. Now let's go to hole 17. The amateurs are only playing 2 rounds, so this is the second to last hole for Drew. And oh, he would have liked to have that one back. He's going to tap that in for par. Here's Brock Gillespie, hole 18. And oh, an unfortunate sign of frustration there for Brock. This will be for his par. And the key is out of this rough to blade these putts. You don't want to get the putter caught up in the rough, and it looks like he's done it. Nice putt for Brock. Let's go to hole 18. This is Drew Stramfer, his final hole, and he's tied for the lead. And he goes through the arch. This looks good. Oh, yes. Drew Stramfer, an ace on hole 18, and he has won the amateur flight of the 2021 Utah Open. Let's take a look at this instant replay, and what an aggressive putt. It never left the hole. A tournament-winning putt for Drew Stramfer. Now let's go to Jacob Stas. Hole 18 for birdie. He's chosen that right-hand side, and this looks good as well. Back-to-back birdies for Drew Stramfer and Jacob Stas. Great ending to round 2 for them. And let's take a look at this instant replay and a primetime ace from Jacob Stas. And round 2 has completed. Let's go to the top 10 leaderboard. It is still Jacob Stas in the lead at -11. Brock Gillespie is at -9. Brandon Fox is at -7. Dennis Cioto in 4th place at -5. And Drew Stramfer has won the amateur flight. Congratulations, what a performance. Thank you for watching the 2021 National Putting Tour Utah Open. Congrats to Drew Stramfer, and we'll be right back. Here's some golf trivia. Who has the record for the most wins at the Masters? The answer? Arnold Palmer. And we're now under the lights. The professionals will now start round 3. This course is thinned out and it looks absolutely amazing. The beginners are on the dance floor and they've left the course to the professionals. Let's go to Dennis Cioto, hole 1. A tiny little hump in the middle of this hole, and it breaks a little right to left. Nice putt for Dennis. He'll have that for par. Here's Brock Gillespie, hole 1. He's eyeing this one down. This looks good. Oh, yes. Brock Gillespie is now 1 back with a birdie on hole 1, and let's take a look at this instant replay. A primetime ace from Brock Gillespie. And let's go to hole 2. This is Jacob Stas. It's a par 3. He runs it through that rough there, and he'll run that a little bit long. He'll have this tough comebacker for birdie. And this is to get back that 2-stroke lead, and yes, nothing but the bottom of the cup for Jacob there. Here's Dennis Cioto, hole 11. That's why a lot of players will play this hole safe. This hole can really turn into a nightmare. Here's for par. And this is going to roll back to his feet. He ended up making double bogey on that hole. Tough hole for Dennis there. Here's Brandon Fox, hole 14. Nice bounce off the rock. This has a chance. And just a little bit long. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. It's Jacob Stas at -13. Brock Gillespie at -11. Brandon Fox at -9. And Dennis Cioto at -6. The pros are battling it out here. Let's go to hole 11. Jacob Stas. And he just owns that little technique there. He'll make that for birdie. Now, Brock looks a little perplexed here. What does he have? And oh no, this is a nightmare. The last thing you want on this hole is to have to do this, and Brock has a tough birdie putt here. He's got to just barely touch this, and yeah, unfortunately, that's going to run long. He'll have this comebacker here for par. And to keep up with Jacob, he's got to make this. Here's hole 12, Brock Gillespie for par from the fringe. Oh yes, what a grind on that hole for Brock. Nice par. Let's go to hole 15. This is a modified hole. Very simple, just straight down the hill for birdie. Let's go to Brandon Fox, hole 15. Nice easy par for him. And here's Dennis Scioto on hole 15. This is a good line right here, and unfortunate bump off that ripple, and he'll make that for par. Now here's Jacob Stas. He has the lead. He's looking for his first win of 2021. You can see the razor sharp focus there. This is hole 14. And he's hit another nice putt off the rocks. He had the exact same putt in round 2, so he knows this break. This is Jacob Stas for birdie to get to minus 15, and oh yes, nothing but the bottom of the cup again. Here's hole 17, Brandon Fox, and oh no, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he was trying to bounce it off that back wall to take off speed. Unfortunately, this will be another primetime bummer putt from Brandon Fox. And here's Dennis Scioto, hole 17. Dennis playing very well. He's at minus 8 right now. He's in 4th place. And he's rolled that pretty good, but it's got a little too much speed, and that's going to roll long. Let's go to Brock Gillespie, hole 17. And he's got a little too much speed on this. Ooh, that's going to miss the hole and roll right up against the rocks. He would end up missing that birdie putt and making par there. Here's Dennis Scioto, hole 18. And that's so easy to do. That rough is very thick, and Dennis is disgusted with that putt. And it's a two-man race now between Jacob Stas and Brock Gillespie. So this is Brock Gillespie, hole 18, and oh no, that was a must-make. Brock very frustrated with hole 18 today. He'll have this for his par. And way to grind. So Jacob now has a one-stroke lead. Jacob can par to win the tournament. He just can't bogey, but I'll tell you, on hole 18, a bogey is very easy to make. So this is Jacob Stas, hole 18, the final putt of the tournament. He looks like he's aimed up that right-hand side again. And this speed looks good. This is tracking, and oh yes, Jacob Stas, exclamation point. Folks, he has won the 2021 National Putting Tour Utah Open. Let's take a look at this instant replay and a tournament-winning putt from Jacob Stas. Never a doubt, he has his first win of the year. What a putt. Congratulations to Jacob Stas. He is our 2021 Utah Open champion. He shoots minus 17 through 3 rounds, and there's some good sportsmanship there. And let's take a look at this final leaderboard, and once again it is Jacob Stas that takes the victory at minus 17. Brock Gillespie fought hard to get to minus 15 to finish second. Brandon Fox will finish third at minus 11, and Dennis Scioto will finish fourth at minus 8. Let's go down to an interview with Brock Gillespie and Jacob Stas. We're here at event number 18, the National Putting Tour Utah Open. Guys, it was an amazing success. We had over 100 putters. Who outlasted them all? We're looking at him right here, Jacob Stas, our 2020 champion. He's leading in points. He didn't have a win yet this year. He won the biggest event of the year. Jacob Stas, how you feeling, Jacob?
Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah, I feel good. That was 10 months, I think. It's been since I won. A lot of seconds, a lot of last hole disasters. You really pushed me down the stretch and just pinched you in the end. That was a lot of fun.
Jacob, once again, congratulations from the National Putting Tour. It was an epic event. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Let's recap this magical day from Jacob Stas. There's him on hole 11 making birdie. He made 2 birdies on hole 14. He owned hole 16 and made a beautiful long birdie here. And who can forget his putt on hole 18, one of the biggest putts of the year in competitive putting. A perfect line end over end, and he makes birdie on hole 18. Congratulations once again to Jacob Stas for winning the 2021 Utah Open. A special thanks to Stookie Farms, Zion Live Entertainment, and Taylor Moats Videography out of Las Vegas. Thank you once again for watching the National Putting Tour. We will see you in 2022.